Earlier, Topuria posted, I'm dealing with some personal problems, so I'm not gonna fight the first quarter. So,
as the big man himself, Dana White has announced Ilia Topuria will not be fighting for the first quarter of 2026. It's unfortunate that the Topuria brothers has to go through something like this, especially how they've been longtime partners, they got 2 kids, and the fact that it's publicized, the whole world is watching the toughest moments of your life, that never helps. But the more important thing we should be concerned about as MMA fans is how will this impact Topuria's legacy? First off, let's talk about the Topuria brand. Ilia Topuria is part owner and primary stakeholder of the Spanish MMA promotion called WOW FC, which has gained a lot of traction as Cristiano Ronaldo has also become part owner of the promotion as well. He even has his own merch line, he has his own Prime drink, and got a bunch of partnerships with other brands. An interesting thing about this is that Giorgina was the one managing all the businesses for the Topuria brand. So Illia was more like the face of the brand, while Giorgina was in charge of all the business aspects of the brand, in charge of making brand deals, building the businesses up, etc. And now she is asking for 50% of the Topuria brand in their divorce, which sucks so bad for Topuria because every time he has a brilliant performance, he knocks out his opponent. He is benefiting his ex-wife as well. The more he succeeds in his career, the more his ex-wife will succeed, which is not a bad thing if they were together. But having someone you don't want in your life anymore, benefiting and profiting off your last name, bro, you have to take that into consideration from now on, because that'll be in the back of Ilya's mind before he steps in the cage. Like, do I really want this performance bonus so that my ex-wife could go on a Miami trip with her girls? That's what's gonna be going through his mind every time he throws his hooks. And if he second guesses himself, that's gonna mess up his timing. And his timing is his most lethal weapon. And if it plays out the way I described it, it will hinder Ilya's performance. Another thing that could impact Ilia Topuria's legacy is the context of the divorce. We have not gotten an official statement, but there has been rumors that some infidelity was involved between them. Now, we don't even know if it's true. There's a lot of fake news going around. Even Joe Rogan got tricked in believing that Giorgina was dating a UK rapper.
Well, she's taking photos with rappers and shit.
Ugh!
Yeah, putting it on Instagram.
No.
Yeah, you know how they do it? They try to steal your soul.
Jesus.
Put a fucking knife right in your spirit.
Dude, that's crazy.
There's also been some speculation of some abuse allegations due to Giorgina's post on Instagram. In her post, she writes, "A mother's true superpower is not being alert to danger. It's building a world where her daughter can grow up brave, free, and unafraid," and so on and so on. And people are speculating that in this last sentence, she mentions how she wants her daughter to grow up brave, free, and unafraid, is implying that she herself, Giorgina, was afraid and not free due to Ilia Topuria being abusive, which I think is very far-fetched. It is definitely not that deep. We are not in English class, this is not Shakespeare, it's an Insta-post. So I think people shouldn't jump to conclusions like that, especially from this kind of evidence. But obviously, these kind of allegations that people are throwing around could be a mental drain for Ilia Topuria. And if any of it's true, which I don't think it is, it could really hurt Ilya's legacy, especially the last one. But like I stated before, I don't think that's true. That is just rumors. There's no evidence whatsoever backing up that point. I think people are just talking just to talk. But the most important thing that will dictate Ilya's legacy, that will impact both his mental and physical capabilities in the cage, is the custody battle of his kids. This is the main reason Ilya is not fighting for the first quarter of the year, is so that he could, quote, focus on my children and resolve this situation as soon as possible. He's saying he wants to resolve his family matters before his UFC return, which I respect. You know, we can't be hating on Ilya for putting his children above his legacy. He's sacrificing his prime years so he could have more time with his children, which is noble. It's a noble thing to do. But he knows that the most important thing he cannot afford to lose is Project Topuria. Who am I talking about? Ilia Topuria's son. Bro, have you seen the video of him throwing that spinning elbow? It is so perfect. His spinning elbow is better than some of the UFC fighters in the roster. I'm dead serious. And look at Ilya's face. He knows he created a monster. He knows his family lineage is in good hands. But if he loses his son in the custody battle, now that's bad. He knows too much. We taught him too much. We cannot let that kind of information leak to the enemy. It could be used against us. We put too much time into this project just to let it go. You know, so if we lose custody over our children and Project Topuria, we will not see the same Ilya we saw against Charles Oliveira. I could tell you that much. And hopefully we can move past this mess and finally restore order in the lightweight division. So the final question is this. Will Topuria become the most dangerous version of himself and use this situation as emotional fuel when he returns to the octagon? Will the winner of just engaging Paddy Pimblett get folded, and will Illia get carried away and do a roadhouse?
Forget the medic. Better send a priest.
Or will Illia's emotional distress be too much for him to handle and have a Conor McGregor-esque downfall?